Welcome to WagerTalk TV, home of $9 Monday. I am Kelly Stewart, at Kelly in Vegas on Twitter, joined by Marco D'Angelo, at Marco in Vegas, and Bryan Leonard, at B Leonard Sports. All right, guys, we have a question from Twitter. At Dan Plays Horses asks, can Mahomes come close to replicating last year's performance? Do you think at least some of these coaches can figure him out? Bryan, I'll start with you.
Well, if you look at his stats from last year, he just tore it up in the first half of the season. And as the year went on, his stats were lesser. He was still very good, but there was adjustments being made defensively from the other teams. I would expect that to continue. That said, he's got a terrific coach. He's got all the talent in the world. He's got one of the strongest arms that anybody I know talks about for a quarterback. He's got great talent, and he's got great people around him, and now he's got his running back. So I would expect the offense to just pick up where they were last year. Is it going to be as good as it was early? Probably not. There's going to be some regression. But this is one of the best offenses, if not the best in the NFL.
I'll be the first to admit, it wasn't that I wasn't high on Patrick Mahomes. I just kept, and VR was with me on it, saying, hey, this team's overvalued, and they kept superseding those expectations. I do think Patrick Mahomes is everything you just mentioned. I do think he's going to have another great season. And I'm not trying to compare him to lesser quarterbacks, but let's use the Colin Kaepernick theory, right? The kid goes all the way to the Super Bowl, loses it. We have this tape on him. The next 2 years, we just see it spiral downwards because once these defensive coordinators in the NFL have some tape on you and they can start to figure you out, is that something we're going to see with Mahomes?
Well, obviously, they're going to make adjustments to him. I mean, last year, when you have a first-year quarterback, Bryan, it's like a rookie pitcher. Mm-hmm. He's going to have an advantage the first time through the league because you don't know what he's comfortable with. You don't know his tendencies. Now you're going to look at film. If a play breaks down, does he roll left or does he roll right? What's his natural tendency? What do they do in certain situations, in certain formations? Yeah, teams are going to be more familiar with that. He doesn't have the running back that he had. I mean, got rid of him at the end of the year, but Hunt's gone. That's going to hurt a little bit. I mean, yeah, running backs pretty much in the NFL except for elite few.
I would say he and Hill are going to be just fine.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill, managed to dodge, the problem, so he's going to be there for now. I mean, he can get himself in trouble again. They are going to be good. What I do look at with this team, with the second year of adjustments, they scored too fast last year. And we talked about this in the other video. The defense, it doesn't help the defense. And these coordinators,
well, they fired the defensive coordinator right after they lose the playoff game last year, rightfully so. I already forgot his name because that's how terrible he was. That being said, doesn't mean you're going to bring in a new defensive coordinator and all of your woes are going to be fixed.
I still think that all of these hurry-up offenses and score quickly, it's great for the fans to watch it. You're burning out your defenses. And I think we see swings in the NFL. It's a copycat, league. Everybody's scoring. They're going to start, everybody wants to do that. They're going to follow the same formula. At some point in time, people are going to start to swing back the other way and realize that, we need to protect our defenses some. We need to play a little bit more ball control and even up the time of possession. Because Kansas City, I mean, the perfect example was the playoff game against New England in the second half. Neither team could stop anybody.
Yeah,
it was a coin flip that decided that game that New England scored first in overtime. Look at the Rams game on Monday night. Neither team could stop each other.
That was crazy. That's all they did was score.
You're going to wear your teams out. Bryan, we talked the other day about baseball when we made the comparison how teams are starting to, second think this starter stuff, where you're coming in with the openers because you're wearing out your bullpens. We're seeing, is that contributing to things? As things happen, people are going to make adjustments, and they will. Will he have a good year? Yes, he's still going to put up big numbers. Is he a fantasy player? Yes, because he can take the ball down and run, score you a touchdown. I know he'll be more valuable to you, Kelly, this year if you take him than, say, a Le'Veon Bell was last year. I have to get that dig in there. But he apologized to you. You see that? Le'Veon Bell apologized to Kelly on Twitter.
I'm going to send him a Venmo request for $3,000. Seriously, I can't do it anymore. All right, Bryan, I'll let you have the final word.
Yeah, Kansas City's offense is going to be terrific. There is going to be a little bit of a letdown, but keep in mind, the only teams that could compete with Kansas City last year were teams who could match them in scoring. And that's how you want to handicap these games when, from a total standpoint, if Kansas City is playing somebody that they can outscore, obviously they're going to score fast, get that lead, take the air out of it. But if they're playing New England, San Diego, some of those other teams that can score pretty well, I mean, just play those games over because they know themselves the only way they're going to win that game is to score more points.
Look when they played Baltimore last year, and Baltimore basically took them off the field because they played their ball control, with Lamar Jackson
Very
running
Kansas State-like, I remember.
Yeah. Best defense is don't let that offense on the field. And I think a lot more people are going to try to do that.
All right, great stuff, guys. $9 Monday at WagerTalk. All daily pick packages for Monday's action, just $9. That includes any 5% best bets, normally priced at $30.